14. And the way we know that, well, obviously, it's the calendar, but it's his birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Okay, so today is his birthday. And so we are going off script and we're making his favorite smoothie. We're going to make his favorite smoothie because it's his birthday.
One of my favorites. Because I have too many to even name.
Yes, he does have lots of favorites. So when I said, let's make your favorite, he was like, oh, well, let me think about that.
We'd have a blender big enough to put them all in there at once.
Right. So we're going to make his favorite, one of his favorite smoothies today. And we actually don't have a name for it, but we're going to give it a name. By the end of this segment, we will have created a name for it.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
And since we are using our own recipe, we're going to share with you our sort of way of making smoothies. So we're actually going to film the entire thing. We'll speed up through the blending part of it, but we're going to talk you through the ingredients we use, why we put them in, the order we put them in, that kind of thing.
Okay, let's do it.
Here we go. All right.
So first we have strawberries.
And we start with strawberries, or we start with the berries, the softer fruits first. So usually any berries or anything that's going to be kind of juicy, liquidy, and soft, we start with that.
And they won't get caught in the blades either if you're using a vita-mix. I'm assuming the same is true for any high-power blender that you might use, but I know that we've used apple in the past, and when I put the apples on the bottom, sometimes they get caught between the blades. Yeah. And that's a pain in the tail.
Then we're going to go in, okay, so this is the Kiala and Damon method for making smoothies. We don't measure these. Like he had those strawberries in a measuring cup, but not because we're trying to measure it, just because that's an easy container to like pour them in here. But we are definitely not measurers.
We're not measuring.
We eyeball everything.
And we make enough for 2 days.
We make enough for 2 days, and we sweeten to taste. So we taste it, and then we adjust based on, how's that taste? And we do that. So we're not, while we are doing the 30-day challenge, we're trying to follow their recipe pretty closely and do the amounts that they suggest. But in our real life, over the last 8 years, we trial and error. We just kind of go with what looks right. And then we adjust accordingly.
And that's the message we preach.
Yeah, you know? It is.
Do what feels good and eat what tastes good. To a degree. I mean, find ways to make nutritious things delicious.
Exactly. So I'm seeing something in the blender that I kind of want to get out. So give me a second. So we got that out. I'm going to go ahead. So back to the idea of measuring and all that. We don't really measure a lot. So we're just going to pop in, a few handfuls. And it depends on who's making the smoothie. If it's my handful, it's going to be smaller. If it's his handful, there'll be more. So again, we just eyeball it, people. Don't make it, it's simple. Keep it simple.
So, I don't know if we said it already, but that's spinach.
Spinach, yep.
Remember those cartoons back in the day? Popeye, the Sailor Man? He was drawn to the finish because he ate his spinach. Well, we like to find ways to add, like I said, nutritious things into what we eat. Spinach is really good.
So Damon's coming in with some pears.
And the heavier fruits help weight down the greens, so that when you start blending, that it actually helps. The gravity helps kind of facilitate the process.
Yeah, and you'll notice too when we use the pears, apples, any of that stuff, we don't take the seeds out, right? So we leave the seeds in. We leave the little core on the butt, of the pear. Yeah, get it all of it. We take it all.
I know some people get into the debate about the apple seed being containing arsenic, saying that it's poison, but you would have to eat a truckload of apple seeds to get a poisonous dose of arsenic into your bloodstream. On very small levels like this, there's even science out there that shows that the apple seeds, the arsenic in apple seeds, help to combat cancer. So something to think about, The more you eat of something, it might take it to like dangerous levels, but in small, almost minuscule amounts, it might be somewhat helpful. So something to think about.
Yeah, do your research, look it up. You don't have to believe us. See what is out there.
Definitely.
What other people are saying. So I put in broccoli, and Damon's putting in water, And again, it's in a measuring cup, not because we measure, just because it has a little spout, easy to pour. So what you're noticing now is our blender is nice and full. The container's nice and full with content, but we still have bananas that we're gonna add and some raw coconut butter we're gonna put in there as well. So what we like to do is grind it down a little bit, and then we'll add the bananas on top, because obviously right now we would just be smushing them in, and that would not be necessarily my favorite thing to do. So we're gonna grind this down a little bit, and we'll be right back. All right, so we did a little bit of grinding down. We're gonna add 3 bananas to this. So far you've got approximately 2 cups of strawberries, 2 handfuls of spinach, 2 pears, handful of broccoli florets, and 3 bananas so far.
Good.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, in my opinion, of course, this is better than birthday cake.
So tell them about the coconut butter.
Okay, what am I telling them about the coconut butter?
Well, maybe just...
You want to tell them why not coconut oil?
You could.
Okay, so we put coconut butter in there because there are a lot of nutritive benefits from eating coconut butter, or just eating coconuts in general. But the reason why we don't use coconut oil is because coconut oil solidifies, especially when you're talking about cooling or chilling your smoothie. If you keep it warm, then the coconut oil is okay. But if you cool it, then you don't want to get those... That
congealed, you know what oil does when it, solidifies? It just becomes really like chunky and oily, and yeah, so the coconut butter, which is a combination of the oil and the coconut meat and the liquid from the coconut, and it's been, processed into a way that, or not even processed, but it's been put in. You can even see when you skim off the top what you're really, well, I don't know if you guys can see that. When you skim off the top of coconut butter, you get the oil, right? Because the oil is in here. So what we like to do is kind of dig down in there and get the actual butter part, right?
Take a good look at that there.
So yeah, and I like to eat this stuff like off the spoon, like it's really tasty. A friend of mine gave me a recipe for raw organic truffles, and it calls for coconut butter. And man, that stuff is delicious. I should have made you some of those for your birthday, huh?
Hey, it's just starting. We got plenty of time, right?
Okay.
Then we add a little maple syrup. I mean, it's a sweet smoothie, so maybe in the future.
That's a lot of syrup, man.
It's my birthday.
All right, pass me that. So here we go. We're going to blend up the rest of it and adjust to taste if we need to. All right, so we're going to open it. Now, this thing is ridiculously full, way more full than a vita-mix is probably supposed to be.
Definitely that.
So we're going to be super careful when he opens this and pours. And we're going to pour into this jar first because there's just a lot of smoothie in here.
A whole lot. But this is how we typically do. I mean, so we can have 2 days worth.
Yeah.
But I'll open up one side of the lid first and just barely let some smoothie trickle in to the container until there's enough out of the Vitamix container that I can open the lid. Otherwise, if you just take the lid off, it's going to pour all over the place. Alright, so I think we're good now. Alright, look how
that's so good.
And look how full that is.
OMG.
Ready for me to pour the rest?
Yeah. I'm so excited.
Okay. Chef's benefit.
Alright, I'm going to grab some ice.
While she's doing that, I'll go ahead and pour my glass. And I'm also going to put some raw egg in mine. I think we said on one of our previous recordings that we don't use protein powders or any kind of additives. I mean, we might put some chlorella or some spirulina in there from time to time. But the only thing I like to add to mine personally is it's an egg or 3. I'm going to put 3 in today, and it's raw. But the kind of eggs that we get for raw consumption are pasture-raised organic chicken eggs. So that's our egg of choice. And there are many reasons for that. And I won't even get into the GMO and soy conversation right now. And the grain, never mind. I'm not going to.
So while he's doing his eggs, which, you know, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more about how you do it. I mean, I can. So what he does is he cracks the egg directly into the smoothie container in the glass right on top of the smoothie. And then he takes a fork, and it's almost like he's scrambling it up, but he really isn't. Are you scrambling it? Would you call it like scrambling?
I'm more like whipping it.
Okay, so he's whipping the egg. And he's using a fork because sometimes you know how there are those stringy pieces in egg or whatever, so he's using the fork to get to like, almost as like a strainer, to strain those things out. So while he's doing that, I'm going to chill my smoothie by stirring. Alright, so we're back and we're ready for the first taste. Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Mwah.
This is what I'm talking about.
Oh my God,
This
it's
is
so
good.
good.
This is really, really good.
Oh, it feels like my birthday too.
What's mine is hers. And what's hers is hers.
Alright folks, so hopefully we've given you a lot of good tips today on, you know, just what we do, how our regular smoothie day, what it looks like. We do make enough to have multiple days. So we don't always make a smoothie every single day, and that again speaks back to the conversation we were having with you all about how to make this a lifestyle. Well, one of the ways to make this a lifestyle is to not feel like you have to make a brand new smoothie every single day.
Yeah.
If you're going through this challenge, that's a part of the challenge, but in your real life, you don't actually have to make a smoothie. So if you're a single person, you potentially could get 3 days out of this. I wouldn't go more than 3 days because it's fresh, organic, there's no preservatives, there's nothing like, you know, keeping it from going bad. So I would say, you know, if you're drinking the size cup that I drink, the size glass that I drink, then, you know, because this is what, 12 ounces?
16, I think.
I think it's 12. 10, 12, yeah. This is a 12 ounce. So if you're doing that and there's just you, I mean, you can get a lot of smoothie out of this. So 2 a day, maybe, even for 2 days. So be mindful of that. That is one of the ways that it makes it less daunting is by making enough smoothie, making a batch of smoothie so that you're not making a brand new smoothie every single day.
It's a great way to sustain the practice. If you're making it a lifestyle, make it easy on yourself.
Make it easy. Make it easy. All right, so we're going to go celebrate his birthday.
No doubt.
All right.
I like that idea.
Cheers. Enjoy.